Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Pedicola, and I'm the founder of Secrets of Life and Death and Second Chance Secrets. And today I'm going to be talking about relationships and how to get what you want in your relationship. You might be asking yourself, well, what do you know, Dr. Michelle, about relationships? Well, I am currently in my relationship of almost 25 years. This summer, it's going to be 25 years. And prior to that, thank you for joining. I was in a relationship for 15 years. Now, that first partnership, that first marriage ended in divorce. So I learned a lot from the divorce about what you need to do and how you need to work your relationship. I was what you might call an accommodator. Whatever he wanted, I gave. But what I learned in my own experience is that when you accommodate and you aren't getting what you want back in return, you start to feel frustrated and you begin to be passive aggressive because you're not getting what you want. So that's why it's so important to learn how to ask for what you want, how to ask for what you need. So another reason why you might not be getting what you want is another dynamic. There's another dynamic that shows up in relationships, which is what I call the controller. So there's the accommodator, or what I call the pleaser, who does whatever you want. And this can work for a long time, but after a while, it starts to get a little boring because you don't have any character. Your character, who you really are, is concealed. And oftentimes the pleaser is being pleasing because they're putting a whole shield around themselves to protect themselves from being rejected. And oftentimes the bottom line, the biggest fear of the pleaser is that they are going to lose their relationship. It often comes from a fear of abandonment or an experience of abandonment. Now, I was going to talk about the controller. Let's get back to the controller. So the controller usually comes from an experience of lack of safety. And so they feel the need to control things so that they feel more safe. And it's not that you're really one or the other. You might use one or the other approach depending on what your circumstance is. So I remember one time, this was between my relationships, the first one and the second one, when I was trying to develop a relationship with a man. And I was very pleasing. And I gave a lot of things away. I gave a lot of my time, my attention, my advice. I'm super smart. I had really good advice. And you know what he said to me? He said, I really love what you're giving and I'm accepting it, but I don't feel like I need to pay you back. And that's when I realized that I was giving all that stuff in the hopes that I would cement the relationship. It doesn't always work that way. There are plenty of people out there that are happy to just receive. In fact, they are great for you to learn from how to receive. Because part of being able to ask for what you want is learning how to receive graciously, how to not push it away, how to accept it. And it's interesting. My husband, I just had a birthday, and my husband gave me a very expensive iPhone so that I can take very high quality photographs. The last camera he gave me is a little old now. And also high quality videos, both of which I really like to do. And I realized that I was a little uncomfortable, partly because I felt like I had to step up and utilize this gift in a way that made him feel like I appreciated it, and I was afraid that I was going to fall down there. But the other reason that I was feeling uncomfortable, and you might relate to this, is that I didn't feel like I earned it. See, that's part of the controller pleaser, is that we earn, and that's the way in which we control the world, is that we use our great capacity to do things as a way to earn, and then we feel like we are justified. But when somebody just gives us out of the goodness of our heart, we often don't know how to receive that. And so we have to learn how to receive that, how to accept the abundance and generosity of the universe. When you start to learn how to do that, when you start to feel confident, when you start to feel like you are actually worth it, that it's okay for you to receive, that's when your relationship gets better. Because then part of asking for what you want is being able to put down boundaries, to say what you want, to ask for what you want, and tell people what you don't want. And do it in a way that's not angry. So that's one of the problems with the pleaser, is that you wait too long, and so when you finally ask, you're like all angry and it all comes out wrong. You have to come from a place in which you really feel good about what you're asking for, and that you are entitled to it, and that it's okay. And if they say no, that's okay too. So that's quite a mouthful there. Let's see if I have anything else to share with you this morning. Oh, so the controller, what the controller does often is they develop a relationship with somebody who is beneath them, who is dependent on them. And in fact, the story I was telling you about where I got involved with this man and was giving him so much, that was sort of the idea, was that he would be dependent on my services, the things that I could offer, and that would seal the relationship. It doesn't work. You cannot control somebody. People do not like to be controlled. Pleasers sometimes will put up with it for a while, but ultimately they bristle at being controlled. And if they are in a financial situation where they have to stay with you, they're going to resent it. And as soon as they get an opportunity, they're out the door. I had a client who came to me after her husband left her, walked out the door. And she had just put all of her effort into supporting him and helping him and inviting him into her business and doing all this work. And he finally gets a job. And she thinks, oh, great, now we're going to be able to retire. Well, he walked out the door the next day because he was waiting for a way out. Now, this is scary, but sometimes I find that there are two ways out. One is that the man or the partner finds a way out financially, that they can do it on their own, or they die. And I tell you, working around grief and loss, I've met many clients who lost their partner. And in retrospect, there may have been some way in which they compelled that loss, either by asking for too much from their partner or putting their partner in a position of being the sole responsibility for their joy. And whether they left intentionally or it was the universe saying, you got to learn how to do this your own, that's what happened. I had one woman who came to me and she had put some demands on her husband to break off an intellectual, social relationship with another woman. And he died of a broken heart. He couldn't choose. And it was just an untenable situation. So sad. So it's time now to start working on your relationship. Oh, so another thing I want to say about my relationship with my husband, who I've been with for almost 25 years, is our relationship has actually gotten better during lockdown. So that says something. Now, maybe it says, since we don't have anybody else to turn to, that we are really enjoying the time that we have together. But the other thing is that we are a good match in terms of how much attention we need. If my husband had a partner who needed a lot more attention, there would be friction. So there has to be a certain amount of compatibility. But the other part is asking for what you want and learning how to ask. Learning how to say it in a nice way, not waiting until you're frustrated, and also being really clear. Now, why might you not want to ask for what you want? Well, aren't we all afraid of being rejected? Aren't we all afraid that we're going to get a no? And my husband might disagree with this, but I found that sometimes he's got so much on his plate that being asked feels like a burden. Now where does this seem familiar? Oh, right, my mother was like that. If I asked her, she always made me feel like I was putting too much of a burden on her. Okay, so I'm actually creating that. My perception, my focus, my intention is influenced by that past experience. So maybe you have a similar experience of how a past childhood experience relationship with a parent is influencing your relationship right now. Are you expecting pushback? Are you expecting a no? How do you change this? Well, you got to develop trust and you got to develop confidence. Trust that the person is going to come through, or if that person doesn't come through, that it's okay, that it'll work out all right. And confidence that you're worthy. So if you would like to know more, please go to my website, secondchancesecrets.com. And there's some really great material there. There's, an opportunity to be part of this group, which you're already a part of. There's an opportunity to join my YouTube channel. And if you reach out to me, I could give you access to one of my challenges. I have 3 challenges right now. One is called Life Makeover Challenge. One is Life Purpose Challenge, and one is Out of the Box Challenge. Now, you can hold off on the Out of the Box Challenge because that's going to be my theme for March. The Life Makeover Challenge might be something you want to work on, or living your purpose, your legacy might be also one that you want to work on. So if you're interested, send me a private message. Would love to connect with you. You have a fabulous day. Remember, this Sunday is Valentine's Day. So why don't you try, this is the challenge for this week, to ask for what you want. How would you like your husband or your wife to acknowledge Valentine's Day for you? What is it that you need? Now this reminds me of, there's a website, 5 ways that you like to receive. I don't know, it's something like that. The 5 gifts, and which gift from your partner you like the best. And what I've noticed for me is it's the ones that I'm not getting. That doesn't mean that the ones that I'm getting I don't like. It just means that the ones that I'm not getting are the ones that come to the top of the list. So keep that in mind. Is there something that you would really like? Is it a physical gift? Would you like more time? Would you like more praise? Would you like more help? Would you like more affection and love? Figure it out and make the ask. And please post in my Facebook group underneath this and tell me what your results are or what you've gotten out of this talk. You have a great day. Bye for now.